run a small or medium-sized business, you probably dread bookkeeping and especially tax time. Keeping track of expenses is a huge hassle, and preparing your paperwork for your accountant can be stressful. SynkBooks changes all that. SynkBooks business accounting software uses artificial intelligence, or AI, to categorize your expenses in a way that the IRS quickly understands. First, it'll help you set up a general ledger for your business. Then it syncs with your bank account, and that's when you really notice the SynkBooks difference. Using the info in your banking transactions, it can determine what kind of expense each of your transactions is, and record it in a way the IRS understands. This doesn't happen at first, but once the AI learns enough about your business, SynkBooks can score as high as 92% accuracy when assisting you in categorizing your expenses. Because of this, SynkBooks makes tax time much easier for you and your accountant. It generates a clean, clear profit and loss report that then syncs to a tax return preview instantly, so you can easily see what your tax return will look like, something no other software currently does. This saves your accountant a ton of time and expense, because they can simply use the SynkBooks generated profit and loss report and the tax return preview document to complete your IRS tax returns faster than ever before. With SynkBooks, all the headaches you used to experience categorizing your business expenses and filing your taxes simply disappear. It truly is the intelligent choice for small and medium-sized business owners, because it helps you constantly keep track of your income and expenses and makes it easier to report at tax time. So what are you waiting for? Let SynkBooks do the hard work of categorizing your expenses and syncing your P&L to your tax documents. Visit synkbooks.com to get started.
All right, so great. So SynkBooks is my bookkeeping software. Just so you guys know a little bit about myself, I am a tax attorney, so I'm a litigator. So, oh, I'm sorry, hold on, something. Sorry guys. So I am a tax attorney and I litigate cases in front of the IRS. So basically what ends up happening is when people get audited, they hire me and I have to fix the issue, right? So this is something that I see constantly. So what ends up happening is that somebody gives me all their transactions and they don't make sense, right? So you have a number that's mismatched from the P&L to the actual tax returns because the fields don't match up. So what ends up happening is you have on the P&L, you have something that says 200,000 of cost of goods sold. On the tax return, it says 400,000 of tax of goods sold, of cost of goods sold. So what ends up happening is I got to figure out where that 200K discrepancy comes from. So I asked the client, where'd that number come from? Says, I don't know, ask the bookkeeper. Bookkeeper says, I don't know, ask the client. Now we have a controversy. So that's what I do for a living right now. So what I said is I'm going to fragment the ledger and make it a little bit easier for people or for the bookkeeping process to work. So these are all like, and I don't have that much time, but this is a P&L on the left side that you see here that doesn't match what's on the right side here. That's the normal P&L. So what we did is we just made it a lot easier by making the category selection that you have match what's going to be on your tax return at the end of the year. So as you're doing your P&L, you're actually slowly doing a version of your tax return. So as you're selecting your categories, they're only going to match what's on the tax return. So at the end of the year, when you're done with your bookkeeping, you're actually done with a version of your tax return. Again, that's something that no software does. And the reason they don't do that is because they use what's called GAAP accounting. GAAP accounting is only required between 5 million and 25 million, and only mandatory, and that's only in part, and only mandatory over 25 million and above. So if you have 5 million and under, you really don't need GAAP accounting. Pen and paper actually works for the IRS. So that's sort of what we did. We filed a patent on the process that we're using. We use AI, machine learning vector, to streamline the process. And when we've done the AI test, they can be as accurate as 92% when we train the model. So it actually really streamlines it pretty darn well. So the market is really huge. These are numbers from the from 2017 Intuit presentation. And Intuit has 80% of the market share of people actually using it. And that is only like 15% of the total market that's actually using bookkeeping at any online bookkeeping right now. So there's still a huge market available for other players in the field. we're currently at $3,500 of monthly recurring revenue. So we have clients, we actually are in business. We've been in business now for like about a year. It's been mainly self-funded, and I think that's all my time. Is that all my time? Okay, great.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Cool.
I wanted to see if you were wrapping up, but no, that was fantastic.
No, I drank a lot of coffee today, so I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Okay, let's get in some judges Q&A. What questions do we have?
Sure. Are you selling directly to small businesses or to their bookkeepers?
No,
or both.
Both. We're doing both. So it can be a standalone product for an entrepreneur. The three target people that we're going after right now mainly are people that aren't using any bookkeeping, people that don't like their current system, and just startups, right? I don't want to compete with QuickBooks because I could spend $10 million making this product and people still won't switch to make it into QuickBooks. So I don't want to try to take those clients away. So it's mainly we're going after small businesses, and we just launched the Bookkeeper Portal. So we're going after both. So there's a Bookkeeper Portal. So if you want to put all your clients on there, you can actually put all your clients on there and do their bookkeeping.
Can you help me understand what the difference is between, this product offering and what QuickBooks offers for single member LLCs, self-employed people, and other small businesses? They have a lot of integrations between TurboTax and QuickBooks and
Sure.
IRS forms, and I don't see the differentiation.
So the difference is that when that self-employment one is probably the one that's most like our product here, the self-employed. But once you go into an 1120S, a 1065, an 1120, the other tax forms, C Corp, S Corp, and partnership Schedule E's, it instantly deviates off the bat. So what mine does is something very similar to that one in and of itself, but it does it for the other forms as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is Megan. First of all, thank you for sharing. I think this is really great. I love the video up front because I think it made it really easy to digest the rest of the presentation you're about to tell us. I know this is a huge problem because I finance early stage startups, and when I look through their bank statements, no one has any idea what's going on in there.
Yep.
What are you thinking about for customer acquisition? How are you going to go about increasing that with a $500,000 investment?
One of the gentlemen, Scott Blum, he is one of the people that helped actually be one of the first marketers for when QuickBooks went online for the first time. So he's the one who's going to help us basically create our game plan as soon as we raise funds. Right now, he's been really kind with his time and, helping and all that, but it's not until we actually really get funded that we can bring him on like for a full time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your cost? What do you charge? How does this roll out like per unit?
So there is just for the standalone product, it's $15 a month or $120 for the whole year. And what I ended up learning is that some people don't care how easy it is, no matter what it is, they'd rather just have someone else do it. So we started creating a custom package where we do the bookkeeping for our clients. That seemed where we're charging $100, $200, $300, $400 a month. That seemed to be a lot more what people wanted as well. So we actually have a full-time bookkeeper on staff now as part of our employees. So that was our first hire like about a month ago, is that we have about like, I think 15 bookkeeping clients. And so she just manages those bookkeeping clients right now.
It would seem at that price point that you might go direct to consumer rather than to accounting firms and bookkeepers.
Yeah, I'm making, see, the thing is, when I started creating this product, a lot of bookkeepers were like, oh my God, thank you. I hate QuickBooks. I hate QuickBooks. It was like common, like I hate those guys, hate Intuit. And so I was like, whoa, I didn't realize. I mean, people were just DMing me on Twitter like, dude, I'm so happy you're doing this. And so we started creating this for bookkeepers now, because there's a lot of bookkeepers, but I don't have all the features that they want. Like you can't send invoices from here yet. There's no payroll integration yet. So those bookkeepers are like, hey, get me those things and I'll switch. As soon as you get me those things, I'll switch over, I'll bring all my clients to you.
Hey, one more question from me.
Yep.
You probably know this best because you're a tax attorney, but I'd be a little concerned of the liability if the AI isn't perfect and it mismatches expenses. How do you plan to tackle that?
See that? I lost that page too. So you actually have to validate it yourself. So when the AI guesses, you actually have to come in and finally say, okay, this is right. So if the AI is guessing that Uber's a car expense here, then maybe it is and maybe it isn't, but you have to actually say, yes, it is, or no, it's not.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
What are your plans for management of the company? You're a full-time tax attorney now. Are you going to be a startup founder or hire someone else in lieu of that?
I'm probably, I actually I'm a professor at Pepperdine as well. I teach a tax clinic as well as an adjunct professor. So as soon as I get to a point where I love tax, so you guys know I'm like a tax nerd. I don't look like one, but I am known as that weird tax guy. Like amongst people that know me, they're like, Isai's that guy. So I love this. Actually, my wife will tell me like nobody cares, but I'm like, people care, trust me. So this is something that I love. But as soon as I get to a point where I can actually pay myself a salary from SynkBooks, I will stop my private practice and just do the adjunct professor because it serves actual social justice as well. So there's another aspect to what I do as a professor, but I would let go of my private practice. My private practice I can do in my sleep right now. So it actually, the functions, that's what allowed me to continue so long without raising any funds, is that my staff was also helping on here too. So it really like, because it's along the same lines, it actually, I was able to merge some of the work together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you so much. That was awesome.